All right, race fans. Welcome to TurnLeft TV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans. Welcome to the King of the Ovals. We're at Texas Motor Speedway tonight. This is TurnLeft TV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. Well, the King of the Ovals in the stock cars tonight. It's race number 3, and we are at Texas. It's going to be a great one, man. We got a 100-lap race headed your way here tonight. Who's got what it takes to tackle Texas? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is watch it right here live on TurnLeft TV. Well, it's the King of the Ovals here tonight. I got Circle of the Americas up there. King of the Ovals here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. And I got excited about tomorrow night. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeft TV. Joxer Mo in here already. I think I knew who that might be. About 4 minutes left here in the practice session. Thanks so much for coming in here and watching me here on TurnLeft TV. Tonight is Texas Motor Speedway, and it is the stock cars. It's race number 3 of the King of the Ovals series. It's been a fun series so far. Last week in the Indy cars was incredible, man. What a great race at Kentucky. Let's see what we can do here at Texas in the stock cars tonight. I'm your broadcaster, commentator, Heath Johnson. Should be a fun one here tonight. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server for your league, or maybe you just want one to practice with. Or how about a website or an online store? Come on out and give EliteHostingUSA.com a look. No matter where you are in the world, EliteHostingUSA.com can provide you with a server. Thanks for coming in here tonight and joining me on TurnLeft TV. Peace out there. Joxer Mo in here says, hey, good luck tonight. Have a great race tonight here at Shoddy J. I should use that as my stage name from now on, Shoddy J. Again, thanks for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeft TV. Peace to everybody out there. Share my videos with all your friends. Hit the thumbs up button and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Up in the banner of the channel is a little PayPal link if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeft TV. And help me out here. Also, you can click on the links down in the description of this race and follow those over to the Fanatec website. If you're interested in purchasing something through them, please use my link. We got a good one here for you tonight, a busy weekend of racing. Last night we had a huge race at, where were we? In the Bushwhacker Series, we were at Gateway. And we took off from St. Louis and made our way to Fort Worth, Texas here tonight for the Texas Motor Speedway race, the King of the Ovals. Dan Richter out here joining us tonight as well. Your Indiana driver there. Coming up tomorrow night, we'll have, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series kicks off a brand new season at Circuit of the Americas. 45-minute race, and in the GT3 mod, and there's a QR code there if you want to join us. 45-minute race, starting off a great season in the GT3 Series. CTC Hockenheim coming up next week, Malaysia, Portugal, Oulton Park, my favorite road course of all, Dubai, coming up on October the 2nd, VIR, and then Zandvoort on that schedule. A very interesting schedule headed your way in the GT3 Series. Guys getting ready to go over to the qualification session. JJ joining us. Jair Oliveira, big dog, joining us in the chat session. Good to see JJ out tonight. He's out on the track too. Got permission from the wife to come out and race tonight. That's good. Tell the missus we said thank you very much. Take a look at the schedule here in the King of the Ovals Series season. We are at Texas tonight for the first of 2 races. 100 laps tonight here in the stock cars, and next week we'll do it in the Indy cars. Following that, on September the 10th, we'll switch back to stock cars and be at California Speedway for a 90-lap race. Guys okay there? I love rFactor too. California coming up on September the 17th in the Indy cars, and you see Richmond, Iowa, Phoenix, and Indy in the back half of that season. So we got a score to settle here for 2 weeks with Texas Motor Speedway, and then Cali coming up on the 10th and the 17th. That'll be another great 2 weeks here in the King of the Ovals series. Looks like the switch over there, we've lost a few drivers. That guys got kicked there at the walls. For some reason now with this new update, guys are getting kicked on session changes, so that's lovely. Flex Studio 397, man, they take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or maybe it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. That's probably more like it. Take a look at Thiago Gomez in the 9X car as he makes his qualification attempt. About 3 more drivers joining us here after quals. Looks like that kicked during qualification, so we got about 13 drivers here tonight. Paul Brown, the top time, 26.095. Gomez just ran a 3.56. Let's take a look at Bardelli Jr. His qualification attempt. So Paul Brown, the top time. Hassel is second. Oliveira is in 3rd position. 26.387 for Bardelli Jr. Now 5th on the grid there for him. How about John Stanley in the 12 car? His qualification attempt. John Stanley is trying to move. Bardelli Jr.'s moved up the grid to the second position. 26.331 for John Stanley. 6th on the grid there for him. Dennis Udichin in his qualification effort here. Right now sits 8th on the grid. Let's see what this second lap is. Oh! Into the wall there on the backstretch coming off turn 2. That's not going to help him, that's for sure. At 47 car. A little kicking up a little dust there for Dennis Udichin, currently 7th on the grid. John Stanley's finished up his second lap. He is now 4th on the grid. Looks like these guys are going to do the drivers' meeting here for qualifications. Don't forget the Bushwhackers series coming up next week. Friday, September the 2nd, will be at Richmond Raceway for race number 3 of the season. 125 laps racing there in a great series. Love this Bushwhacker series. Been with a huge field last night. Had a lot of caution flags, but they'll get that worked out. Get a lot of new drivers out and a challenging track there at Gateway. But we got a race number 3 headed your way next week. A little short track action at Richmond. And a pretty wide track for a short track, so this will be a fun one. You don't want to miss it. It'll be live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TurnLeft TV. Valdo showing up in here and helping us out with the introduction. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to him as well. An excellent transmission, hopefully, by Heath Johnson. Yeah, hopefully. Good luck to Givaldo tonight. One of our best buddies will be in here as well, taking care of the chat session. Just to make sure we don't have any shenanigans. Well, we want to take a look at the season standings coming into tonight's race. After 2 races, looks like Paul Brown has an 8-point lead over Franco Alvarez, who is not here tonight. He's watching the rain-delayed race at Daytona. Claudio Bardelli Jr. sits 3rd in points. Will Dunbar 4th, tied for 4th with John Stanley, actually. And then also Preston Hassel and Jesus Iglesias. So we got a little under 5 minutes left to go here in the warm-up session. I'm going to take a look briefly at the Bushwhacker Series schedule and point out on that September 16th race will be at Charlotte for the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. That's going to be a Friday night race in the Bushwhacker Series, 167 laps. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a big race, man. Very important race to us here at High Octane Racing League. And I would suggest to you that it's going to be one of those where you're going to have a lot of guys out wanting to win that. We're going to have some prizes and so forth that we're going to raffle off, as we do every year, to honor our fallen hero, Steve Freeze, who passed away far too early there in 2011. So he meant a lot to us here at High Octane Racing League. You know, the folks here that knew him, I knew him, and we've raced with him for many years. We wanted to point that out, get that out here tonight. Like we lost Arjun Fieta. That's too bad, man. Really wanted to see him out on the track here tonight, but he seems to be sort of intermittent sometimes on how well he's able to connect to the server. So I definitely hate to see that for Archer not being able to come out here tonight and race with us. Hopefully, maybe he'll join here at the last minute. Well, here's my keys to the race here tonight. Pit stops on point. You just saw Paul Brown spin out a little bit up there coming down pit lane. Also, you better race the track here. It's easy to get into the wall coming off turn 2 because you are going into that tri-oval area. You got to exercise a little bit of patience here. This car takes a while to come in. It's tight early and then loose late. And so you're going to have to take care of those tires as well. So those are my keys to the race here at Texas. Peace to everybody out there. Hit that thumbs up button. Share my videos with all your friends. And let's get this party started here at Texas Motor Speedway. Look at the 88 here, Will Dunbar, and that Microsoft sponsored machine coming down pit lane. So I think we're about ready to get this party started here. King of the Ovals Series, race number 3 stock cars tonight here at Texas.
Attention grid, we're all non-essential.
All right, here we go. I think we're ready to rock and roll tonight. King of the Oval Series, race number 3. And this is going to be a fun one here tonight. So Barl Brown, Claudio Bardelli Jr., Tiago Gomez, John Stanley, the first 4. Qualifying in 5th is Preston Hassel in the 27. Jair Leveda in 7X is 6th. Dennis Uderchin in the 47 qualifies in the 7th position. Ricky Emerson starts in the 8th spot. Starting in 9th will be Dan Richter in the 4X. Givaldo Spindola in the 68 starts in the 10th position. Jesus Iglesias in 11th. And Will Dunbar will start 12th. Well, Paul Brown will lead the field to take the green flag here tonight at Texas. Bardelli Jr. will start on the outside line. Again, this is going to be a little tight early in the run, depending on what your setup you got in, but I think most of them are running pretty much the same setup. It's going to be a little tight early on. And then we've got a little condition. I think it's going to be loose. It goes from tight to loose. There's really no in-between here, as guys are talking about anyway. Pace car's off. Here we go. It's race number 3. The King of the Oval Series here at Texas. Already getting wild. That 9X car jumping up there. It's going to leave a little bit of opening there for Claudio Bardelli Jr. to tuck in. So the 9X, Tiago Gomez running in 3rd. Get out of the front of Tiago Gomez's machine as he runs behind Claudio Bardelli Jr. Jair Leveda running in P4. We'll take a look at John Stanley. He's running in the 5th position. Just behind him is Ricky Emerson in the 8th. It looks like a good fight here. Ricky Emerson down to the low side. Preston Hassel going to try to follow him through. Preston Hassel, is he able to clear the 12 car? Oh, a little swap and paint right there between the 27 and the 12. Here on lap 2. Getting after it here on lap 2. Preston Hassel gets that spot. John Stanley back to the 7th position. Dennis Uderchin running in P8 in that 47 car. One of our Ukrainian drivers here. Slava Ukraina. Running in 8. Dan Richter running in the 9th position. Good to see Dan Richter out here. He's in that 4X car. Will Dunbar running in 10th, all over the back of Dan Richter right now. You see a good little battle there between Jesus Iglesias and Will Dunbar. Ford versus Chevy on that battle. Jesus down to the bottom line. Will Dunbar running that high line in the 10th position. Jesus not able to pull off that pass. Doing a good shot. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola here in the 68 car. Just kind of biding his time, man. We've seen that racecraft really improve on him, and there's a battle there ahead of him. Looks like Jesus Iglesias down to the bottom line here, trying to get around Will Dunbar. Jesus able to catch that apron there just a little bit, slide up, and take over the 10th position. Will Dunbar now back to 11. Car of John Stanley here putting a little pressure on the 27. See if he can't get back around Preston Hassel. This battle is for the 5th position. John Stanley running in P6, Preston Hassel in 5th. Thiago Gomez now back to the 7th position. Take a look at him in that Toyota number 9X. Now Paul Brown is the leader, about a second lead over Claudio Bardelli Jr. We'll take a look at Bardelli Jr. here running in the 2nd position, that 91 car. But he sort of figured it out so far, and the tightest battle on the track, I think, is Givaldo and Preston Hassel. Guys nose to tail, and I guess we're probably a little bit close up there where Udichin's at. Dan Richter, Jesus Iglesias, they're running in 8th, 9th, and 10th. Givaldo, like I said, he's kind of biding his time, sitting out here riding, and hopefully those guys will come back to him. He's in that 68 car. Not sure what the sponsor is on that bad boy. I got to look there, but he's got a TurnLeft TV logo on that somewhere. Dennis Udichin and Dan Richter now fighting it out. Dan Richter in the 4X, Udichin in the 47. Richter running in the 8th position. He's trying to get around this 47. Don't forget about Jesus Iglesias. He's running in the 10th position. He's in this mix too. Good tight battle here. Richter going up to the high side. He's going to leave that door open for Jesus Iglesias. Richter's good about running in this high line. Seen him do it a lot. Look at that on the back of that number 47 Dennis Udichin car. It says patience. Here we go, side by side as Jesus Iglesias down to the inside, battling Dan Richter. Richter in the 4X on the high side. Iglesias in this 2X down on this bottom side. A good side-by-side racing here. Look at Jesus Iglesias in the 2X. Trying to get around Dan Richter. Dan Richter great at using that high line. Holds on to that position. Able to hold on there and maintain his spot. Great battle there between the two of those guys. Paul Brown continuing to lead. Got a 2.1 second lead, and he is walking away from the field. We'll see if they're able to reel him back in. Jair Oliveira coming out here on a Saturday night with us in the 7X car, Toyota Camry. These guys come out, a lot of these guys are actually pretty regular here on Saturday nights. I know Iglesias is, and also Thiago Gomez is as well. And these guys really need to get a car in the car set. We'd like to see that. .7X. I think even Arjun Vieta, he was out here practicing, and he doesn't have a car in the car set. Look at this, Thiago Gomez to the high side, John Stanley down on this bottom side. Side by side here is the 9X of Thiago Gomez. He's going to hold on to that spot or pick up a spot. John Stanley trying to fight back. Oh, Gomez gets into the wall. Stanley make an evasive move down to the inside. 9X holds on to it. Gomez picking up that spot. Now up to the 8th position. Usually down up to 6th. They'll take that back. John Stanley back to 7th. Look at this. Dan Richter now trying the bottom side here as Dennis Uterchin in the 47 car up on the high side. Dan Richter going to pick up that spot. Now he's in P8 as Dennis Uterchin falls back to the 9th position. We got a battle here with Ricky Emerson and Jair Oliveira. Ricky Emerson to the inside in that 8 car. JJ in the 7X up on the high side. Good battling here. JJ's one of those guys that likes to run that high line. He's good up on the high side, but it does look like Ricky Emerson's going to be able to pick up that position. Emerson's now up to the 3rd position. John Stanley and Thiago Gomez rekindling that battle. Gomez into the outside wall. Again, he's slamming that wall there. He's beating the snot out of that 9X machine. John Stanley going to pick up that spot now, back up to 6th. Right now, the 70 car is reporting to his crew that this car is starting to get loose. 20 laps in. And we knew that was going to happen. It's tight at the beginning of the run, and there's really no in-between with this track. This car just gets loose in a hurry, and that's going to make for some really, really interesting racing. Look at this. Preston Hassel in the 27 and the 12. John Stanley, he's starting to make some moves here. Late in the run, John Stanley is starting to pick up some spots. Now up to P5. Preston Hassel falls back to the 6th position. Preston Hassel indicating that this car is a little bit loose too. He's starting to maybe have to counter steer a little bit. On board here with Preston Hassel through the tri-oval area, across the start-finish line, into turn 1. We're kind of interesting to see what happens here. See a little bit of counter steering. And off the turn. Not too bad right there, so it looks like he's okay. He's down to the inside. Here's round 3 and 4 coming off turn 4. It seems to be all right there. Don't see any counter steering back to the right. So, John Stanley picking up that spot. Preston Hassel running in 6th. Paul Brown in the 70 is in control. He's got about a 4.5 second lead on the field. That battle here with the 27 now getting reeled in by the 4X and the 9X. The 4X of Dan Richter, he has been in a dogfight with Thiago Gomez for quite a while now. And Dan Richter's trying to see if he can put maybe a car between the two. The 4X now getting by the 27 car. Thiago Gomez going to try to follow him through. Gomez gets by. Maybe starting to see some pit stops. That's right. Look at this. The race leader, the 70, Paul Brown, that Mountain Dew sponsor machine coming down pit lane. Pit stops underway. Ricky Emerson coming down pit lane as well. Or excuse me, Ricky Emerson is leading. So Paul Brown on pit lane. Looks like Ricky Emerson in the 8 car. He's coming down pit lane. Paul Brown still taking service here. Now finishing up, coming back out on track. Our race leader is the 12 car, John Stanley. The 70 coming back out on track after making pit stop here. Green flag pit stops underway here at Texas. John Stanley and that Stanley Tools sponsored Ford Mustang now coming down pit lane. Dan Richter almost sped there. He might have got a speeding penalty. That was fast coming down pit lane. Dan Richter on pit lane, and he might have a speeding penalty. Oh, Givaldo trying to pull out. Tried to pull out of his pit stall. Dan Richter had pulled in there just as Givaldo started to go and got in the back of him. Dennis Uderchin on pit lane. Paul Brown back out on track here on lap 27. So a little bit of shenanigans on pit lane. Looks like Dennis Uderchin's finished up his pit stop here. That 47 car coming back out on track here on lap 27. Well, it's been a pretty quiet night there. The most exciting thing we had was those pit stops. Givaldo and Dan Richter. Maybe a little contact. He got in the back of the what is that, the 4X car, 6X car, I believe Dan Richter's in. 4X. We got everything settled down now. Everybody's off pit lane, strung out the field a little bit. Tighten it up, I think, between Paul Brown and Ricky Emerson. Now you're looking at 2.5 seconds separating the two of those guys. Now, Paul Brown had about a 4-second lead on the field when pit stop started, but now Ricky Emerson shown in the second position, closing in that Toyota Supra. Ricky Emerson on his way here in the Toyota. I'm sure Paul Brown certainly knows that. He sees that that gap is starting to close down. Now, Paul Brown is good at saving those tires, too. He's not able to, or he's not afraid to let guys sort of reel him in a little bit, knowing that he's going to have better tires later in the run. Jairo Leveda here running in the third position. Dan Richter in fourth. Thiago Gomez running in the fifth position. The 7X, 4X, and the 9X. Oh, man, I tell you what, both those 7X and the 4X, they got a little bit tight there. It might have gotten into the wall. The 7X, Jairo Leveda, about 8 seconds down to the race leader running in P3. This battle for the, I guess it would be for the fourth position between Dan Richter and Thiago Gomez is tightening up here. I think Dan Richter in the 4X car might have a little bit of damage. Take a look at this battle. 2/10, almost 3/10 separate them. So Richter is starting to open up a gap there on Thiago Gomez. I know Gomez has been into the wall a few times on that first run, so there may be some damage that just could not be repaired on that machine. He does seem to be a little bit faster coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch. And then Richter, it seems like, is better through this front straight part of the course. That is tightening up, though. Now Gomez going to make me a liar here. Gomez now really starting to reel in Dan Richter. John Stanley coming as well in this mix. We'll look out of the back of Dan Richter's machine. And we see Thiago Gomez and John Stanley. Nose to tail. Stanley in that Ford Mustang. And Thiago running in the Toyota Camry. That's that side-by-side battle there between the two of those guys. Good battle here. The 12 car, he's shown some muscle here tonight. He's down on the inside line and wants to get around this 9X car. John Stanley and that Stanley Tools sponsored Ford. On board here with Thiago Gomez. He wants to try to get back around this 12 car. He doesn't want to follow the 12. He has to hold off. These guys are starting to roll up on some more traffic. Jair Oliveira is starting to get reeled in by these guys. He is running in P3. John Stanley now giving Dan Richter a little bit of a challenge. John Stanley gets by. And Gomez is going to try to follow him through, I think. Look at this, out of the back of John Stanley's machine. Gomez and Richter getting after it here. Gomez wanting to try to get around on the bottom side. Dan Richter on the high side. John Stanley's cleared them both, and he's starting to run off there, and he wants to see them racing side by side. Open up a little bit of gap. Dan Richter not ready to give up that spot. Fighting on the high side. Through the tri-oval, man, that is brave right there. Through the tri-oval area, side by side. Dan Richter, one of the best running on those high lanes, especially these challenging tracks. Again, side by side with Thiago Gomez, and he's able to hold on to that spot. How about that? That's some clean racing right there. Great racing between Dan Richter and Thiago Gomez. That's how you do it right there. There's a lesson. That was a textbook example of clean racing. Competitive, clean racing between the two of them. They swapped positions about 4 times through that sequence. John Stanley now has that car on the bottom side trying to get by to 7X. He's going to pick up P3, the 7X. Jair Oliveira now tucks in 4th. John Stanley up to the 3rd position. He's got some work to do now to catch up to the front two. Paul Brown in the 70 is our leader. .2 second gap. He has opened that gap up on Ricky Emerson. Will Dunbar here running in the 11th position. In the 88 car. He was sort of a last-minute join. I think it's just kind of not many practice laps here tonight, but to run a clean race, kept the car between the lines. Coming out here to participate in the King of the Ovals series. Preston Hassel, something's going on with his 27 car. I just do not think that this car has been to his liking on this run. And he's dropped back to the 9th position. Take a look at this, the 47 and the 91 battling it out. The 91, oh, Claudio Bardelli Jr. into the wall. There's the 47. Dennis Udichin trying to get around. The 91 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. He got into the outside wall. Claudio Bardelli Jr. scraping the wall. And Udichin makes that pass. Dennis Udichin now in the 7th position. Bardelli Jr. back to 8th. Take a look at Preston Hassel here. Again, running in the 9th position. And that Twix-sponsored Ford Mustang. Take a look at this, the 9X. Thiago Gomez to the inside of the 7X of Jair Oliveira. Gomez picks up that spot. A couple Toyotas there battling. Probably working together a little bit. That pass was probably a wave by there for JJ. JJ said, come on by, and you're faster than I am, go on by. So JJ now back to the 6th position. Jesus Iglesias, been a quiet night here for him. He's running in the 10th position. About 22 seconds down in P10, so a good top 10 run here for him. That's certainly something he wants. I know he wants to move up the grid a little bit further. We get quite a few laps to go, not quite to halfway. So the 2X still a little bit of work to do for him. Look at the 68 car. Waldo's in the lucky dog position. He sees John Stanley coming up behind him. Givaldo, I think, is already communicating to John Stanley to pass him on the low side. Stanley down to the inside. John Stanley running in P3. Givaldo up into the wall there. It looks like coming off turn. Oh, more contact with the wall. That right there seems to be some things that we all have things we got to work on, and I think Givaldo sometimes letting these guys go. He gets up out of the groove, maybe takes his eye off the 8-ball there a little bit, and gets into the wall. Goes mirror driving a little bit. And makes contact with the wall, so that 68 car is going to have some damage there, that's for sure. And I think Thiago Gomez might be coming down pit lane. I'm not sure. Oh, excuse me, Jesus Iglesias. There was something going on there. Let me take a look at Jesus. Had some problems. Oh, Jesus into the inside wall. Jesus contact for the 2X car. My heavens. Not sure what happened there with Jesus. We'll take a look. This is a little bit earlier here as Jesus kind of running out there by himself. We're starting to see some more pit stops coming around, but Jesus, there was something that went on with this machine. Will Dunbar was closing in on him. Jesus has definitely got some issues with that machine. You've seen him hit the wall. And we are starting to get some pit stops here, so hopefully he's going to be able to get in and get that car repaired. Look at this, the 27 car. I think he's indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane too, so we got green flag pit stops underway. Second round of pit stops is the 27 of Preston Hassel coming down pit lane. Ricky Emerson's on pit lane as well. Dan Richter is our leader. Ricky Emerson finishing up his pit stop as we see Dan Richter, the race leader. Dan Richter indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane here, so hitting a little bit late. Able to do that fuel calculation, maybe? Question mark. John Stanley on pit lane. I think our first car off pit lane will be Paul Brown. I believe. Paul Brown's gotten out to the race lead. Looks like he probably will reassume the lead as pit stops cycle around. Will Dunbar on pit lane. Looks like he might be finishing up his pit stop now. Will Dunbar coming back out on track after finishing up his pit stop. Will Dunbar now shown in the 10th position, cracking that top 10. Last minute join here, and congratulations to Will Dunbar for his defense of his dissertation, and officially Will Dunbar is now Dr. Dunbar. How about that? Congratulations to him. Well deserved, and gets to breathe a sigh of relief here and now live the life of luxury. Dr. Dunbar running in the 10th position. Not too many race leagues can say they have a doctor. Now, that was my DJ name when I used to DJ back in the 90s. I was Dr. Feelgood. Go Paul Brown rolling up on the doctor. The 70 car here looking to maybe put Will Dunbar a lap down. And Ricky Emerson seems to have a little bit better situation getting on and off pit lane compared to the rest of the field. But the strong car here is the 70, so he ends up running away from Ricky Emerson as the run progresses. Look at this, Jair Oliveira and Claudio Bardelli Jr. here on lap 57. The 91 going to the bottom side, getting around that 7X machine. 91 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. making that pass. He's now up to P6, and he has had a pretty eventful night with the wall. Right side damage getting repaired for him. Bouncing back, running in 6th. Paul Brown gets around the lap car now of the 88. This Dennis Udichin. Dennis Udichin in the 47 car battling the 7X. Udichin gets around Jair Oliveira. Oliveira now back to the 8th position as Dennis Udichin now to P7. This 47 car tonight, first time we've seen this paint scheme out on the track. And I know that's got to have a TurnLeftTV logo on it somewhere. I'm going to give him a bunch of grief if there's not one somewhere. There's got to be a TurnLeftTV logo on this car. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looking around on the other side, I don't know if I see a TurnLeftTV logo. Dennis Udichin is going to have to go to the penalty box, I think. Rested Hassel here in the 27. And he had a pretty decent car here early on. And I don't know whether he's had some contact with the outside wall. But this car has fallen off for him. He's running in the 9th position, plugging away here in this 27 Twix-sponsored Ford Mustang. Keeps plugging away, but I'll tell you, it's probably not the night he had hoped for. But nonetheless, he's got a top 10 run. It's just does not seem like that car has been underneath him here tonight. John Stanley's got a pretty good run going. He's running in the 4th position in the 12 car. And he is looking solid. And I really think that late in the runs, that's when you see John Stanley start to make up ground. This 12 car, Stanley Tools sponsored Ford Mustang. One of our Canadian drivers here having a great night in the top 5, running in P4, trying to close in on that 3rd place car of Dan Richter. And you see 1.9 seconds separate he and P4 or P3. Got Thiago Gomez, or excuse me, Jesus Iglesias just in front of him in the 2X. Jesus running in the 11th position. Jesus is 1 lap down. He is the 2nd car in the 1 lap down crowd. Bill Dunbar in the lucky dog position. John Stanley starting to roll up on some lap traffic here, and he wants to get around Jesus, and he does. Jesus lets him go. A little scary there as Jesus got up into the wall, I think. Maybe scraped the wall, but John Stanley now gets by, tries to set his sights on Dan Richter. Looks like about 2.3 seconds separate the two of those guys. Dennis Udichin continuing to make some inroads. Battling the 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Dennis Udichin makes that pass. Claudio Bardelli Jr. running now in the 9th position, I believe. No, 7th position. Oh, no, there's contact between the two of them. Udichin goes up the track. Thiago Gomez is going to get through. Whoa, boy. Dennis Udichin went for a ride there as the 91 got into the back of him. That Team Ukraine number 47 car is coming back. He wants to get back under the bumper of that 91. There's a little paint he wants to give back to him. Givaldo Spindola tries to get through this as well. Givaldo on fresher tires. He's down on the inside. Got to be really careful here. Dennis has got some boogered up tires, no doubt. Holy smokes. That got a little crazy right there. Let's take a look at this replay here as Bardelli Jr. goes down to the inside and gets into Dennis Unichin right there. Look at that, hanging on to that thing. Unichin holds on to it as Thiago Gomez say, I'm going to go around you both. Gomez says, I'll take it. Thiago Gomez not playing. Look at this. See if we can't, excuse me, that was JJ. Take that back. That was JJ there. Watch this. JJ out of the front of his car. Look at that, man. He sees white smoke. He says, hey, thank you very much. I'll slide here. I'll go there. And I'll say bye-bye. How about that? Hey, that is some great driving there by JJ. Dennis Unichin's now coming back here. He wants a little piece of this 91 car. I think there might be some of that 91 car rubbed off onto the 47 car. 47 gets by. Oh, the 91 hard into the outside wall. Bardelli Jr. made contact with an outside wall, and that thing is boogered up. There is no doubt about that. That was a hard lick. I think that knocked his dentures out. Unichin now reclaims that spot in 7th, but he has got to try to close back in on Jair Oliveira. Got to get around the 68 car. Oh, up into the outside wall. Dennis Unichin here in this 47. Wanting to get around that lap car. Now, the lap car of Givaldo Spindola, the 68, on a little bit fresher tires, but Unichin has got a little bit better car. Nonetheless, I think he's got some damage, too, that he's dealing with. So that's something to think about there as you're trying to get around. Paul Brown now rolling up on the 27 car. Put him a lap down. 73 laps in. I know we're going to have another pit stop, I'm sure. Paul Brown gets by. He's got a 1.9 second lead over Ricky Emerson. Emerson here in the 8 car, running in P2. Pretty big lead for those guys over the rest of the field. Dan Richter is about 4.7 seconds back to P2 and about 6.5 seconds back to the race lead here in this 4X car. He's running behind Will Dunbar. Dunbar running in the 10th position. Dan Richter going down to the bottom side here to get around that 88. Ricky Emerson says he's coming down pit lane. So Ricky Emerson going to make a pit stop. We're on board here with Ricky Emerson as he comes off turn 2. And he is indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. John Stanley indicating he's going to come down pit lane too. We're on board here with Ricky Emerson. And here we go, Ricky Emerson to come down pit lane. And we're starting to see some pit stops. Final pit stops? Maybe so. John Stanley on pit lane as well. Take a look at John Stanley coming down pit lane. Paul Brown making a pit stop. Paul Brown may have gotten caught speeding. Boy, that was a fast exit off the track. Let's see what happened here. This 70 car. Oh, no! Oh, no, man, I'll tell you what, that 70 car, he might have gotten caught speeding. That could be a game changer. Take a look at the 4X. He's the race leader. He's coming down pit lane. Oh, no. Late race pit stop. Look at these guys coming back out on track. Paul Brown off the track to come down pit lane. And some shenanigans. Let's take a look at this. Led from start to finish. And look at this, man. This thing is wrecked. He gets by the commitment cone. That's good. But he got caught speeding, and he is now coming back down pit road. Coming back down pit road to serve a drive-through. Dan Richter running in second. Ricky Emerson now the race leader here in the 8 car. Oh, no. Now what do you do if you're the 70 car? You hope for a caution flag. Wow. Now you see Paul Brown coming back out on track. After making that pit stop. Wow, that is a game changer there. Absolute game changer. Now we're up here with our new leader, Ricky Emerson. He's had solid pit stops all night. He really was closing the gap on the pits, on those pit sequences. But Paul Brown would end up kind of running away late in those runs. Paul Brown now shown in the 9th position. He is 1 lap down. Ricky Emerson is the leader. Dennis Uderchin is in the lucky dog position. He's in the 47 car. He's running in the 5th position here on lap 82. We've been caution-free here at Texas. Caution-free at Texas, and I'm not trying to jinx it, but we've had a good night here in the stock cars. Everybody, although they played around with that wall a little bit, everybody has kept the car pointed in the right direction. Jair Oliveira picking up a spot there, now in the 8th position, the 7X car. Givaldo Spindler coming back out on track as well in the 68. Well, it's been a fun race to watch here tonight. Dennis Uderchin rolling up on our race leader, the 8 of Ricky Emerson. Uderchin wants to unlap himself. I don't think I'd fight all that hard, to be honest with you. I mean, if there is a late race caution flag, you are going to get the lucky dog. So I think I'd just be fine kind of chilling where I'm at as long as there's nobody rolling up behind me. Got a fair bit of a gap there back to Preston Hassel in the 27. Now, Preston wants to see Dennis Uderchin get around Ricky Emerson, so Preston in the 27 would be in the lucky dog position. Iago Gomez running in the 4th spot. He is the last car on the lead lap. That kind of gives you how this race has gone. It's been caution-free, and guys are spread out here. Got a lot of cars that are a lap down. Now 7 cars a lap down. Tell you what, the run of the night here so far has been, I think, the 12 car. Running in P3. Out there by himself, but having a great night, good solid night. He had some great battles going on through the night, and looking pretty solid here for the 12th. A late race battle here between Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Jair Oliveira. Bardelli Jr. up on the high side as Oliveira in the 7X gets by. Oliveira now picking up the 7th position. Bardelli Jr. back to 8th. And I think Udichin has figured out that if he kind of maintains where he's at, he's going to be all right. If there is a caution flag come out. Looking pretty green here to me, though. 88 laps in. Ricky Emerson in control. Dan Richter in 2nd. John Stanley 3rd. Thiago Gomez is in 4th. Dennis Udichin in the 5th position. How about Thiago Gomez here in this 9X machine? He comes out and races with us quite a bit. We got to get a car for him in the car set. And somebody out there might be willing to paint him a car. I'd paint him a car. I just got a lot on my plate right now, but nonetheless, he's regular with us. I'd like to see Thiago get one of his own skins, as long as it has a TurnLeftTV logo on it. Ricky Emerson, I don't think he has a TurnLeftTV logo on that thing. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Somebody wreck him. Paul Brown now in a little bit of traffic here in this 70 car. Paul Brown down to the inside. He's trying to battle this 91 to get by. 68, Givaldo Spindola just ahead. Givaldo running in the 12th position as Paul Brown gets by him. With the 8 car, Ricky Emerson, Team Minolta sponsored Toyota, leading here on lap 92. It's been an interesting night. Caution free. We just had that little drama coming down pit lane. Ricky's got about a 3.8 second lead over Dan Richter. Dan Richter has had a pretty good run here tonight, too. He has a lot of battles. He had to work his way up through the field. A lot of those guys made some mistakes as well. But he's been able to capitalize and now has himself a second-place car, 3.7 seconds off the race lead. Time's running out if he's going to try to close in. I hope for a little misfortune here on the 8 car. Well, we know that Ricky Emerson doesn't make too many mistakes. We'll take a look at Dan Richter in this 4X machine, 3.7 seconds back. He is closing in just a little bit. It's just not quite enough. Down to 3.5 seconds. Time's running out for that 4X if he's going to close in on Ricky Emerson. One thing to catch him, the other thing is trying to pass him. Both those guys are good on the high line as well. It'd be a dogfight up on that high line. But nonetheless, Dan doesn't really come out and race too much. But here with 5 laps to go, he's looking pretty solid with his second-place car. And against some pretty stiff competition. You get the Paul Browns out there. You got Thiago, John Stanley, Preston Hassel, Oliveira. Bardelli Jr. has not really had the night that we thought he was going to have either. He's running in the 9th position, but I tell you what, that guy's usually in the hunt to win the race. Ricky Emerson now closing in on Jesus Iglesias down to the inside for this 8 car. And he gets around Jesus on lap 97, and that was good driving right there. Jesus Iglesias kind of waved him by. Look at this, that 70 car trying to get around that 7X. And the 70 getting by. It looks like he's trying to inch ahead of that 7X machine. And he does get by, so now up to the 7th position. So gaining another spot there, maybe helping him out in his championship hopes. 2.8 second gap there on Dan Richter. Ricky Emerson. Across the start-finish line, we'll have 2 to go. The Team Minolta, sponsored Toyota. Faster pit stops, I think, than the 70 car all night. And then the one mistake late in the race. Look at this. With 9X, Thiago Gomez close it in on the 12 car. Good battle here for the 3rd position. Late race pass for Thiago. Now picking up P3. So Gomez up to 3rd. John Stanley back to 4th. Ricky Emerson on his last lap here. It's all over but the shouting now for the Team Minolta sponsor machine. This crew has been solid all night long. Great pit stops for Ricky Emerson, and he's going to take the victory here at Texas. So good run for Ricky Emerson here tonight. Oh, and he does have a TurnLeftTV logo on there, so he's out of the doghouse. Congratulations to Ricky Emerson. So, well, congratulations, Ricky Emerson gets the win. So a caution-free race here at Texas. Ricky Emerson getting the win. So a big one there for Ricky Emerson. Congratulations to him. Well, what a win for Ricky Emerson, huh? Came out here, conquered the Texas Motor Speedway. Take a look at the final results here tonight. Wow, we had a great race, caution-free. Take a look at the results. Ricky Emerson gets the win. Dan Richter finishes in the 2nd position. Finishing in 3rd is Thiago Gomez. John Stanley, good 4th place run there for him. Dennis Yudichin has the top 5 run in that Team Ukraine sponsored machine. Preston Hassel finishes in 6th. Paul Brown 7th. Jairo Oliveira finished in the 8th position. Will Dunbar 9th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. finished in the 10th position. Finishing in 11th is Jesus Iglesias. Givaldo Spindola finishes in the 12th position. We'll see if we can't get Ricky Emerson up here in the booth with us. So congratulations to him tonight on getting the win here at Texas. And we'll see if we can't get Ricky Emerson up in the booth with us for a little bit of an interview. All right, we'll get Ricky Emerson up here. All right, we got Ricky Emerson joining us up here in the booth. And, wow, I tell you, you had better pit stops here tonight, I think, than Paul Brown did. But I don't think you expected maybe to get a little bit of a gift toward the end of the race.
Yeah, that was a gift. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Paul, I think, was speeding on entry to pit road coming off of 4, and you saw that you could gain a lot of time there, but I guess he said he was going light, so I guess he has somehow made a mistake on entry.
Well, it looked like all night long you had better pit stops, and later in the runs he was able to kind of run away from you. It seemed like it was a little bit more exaggerated at the beginning of the race than it was at the end. Were you just figuring some things out there on him, or what did you feel like the change was throughout the race?
Gosh, keeping up with the track. So in my case, I started off tight, just aero tight, with JJ and Claudio. JJ put up a great fight for, I think, 3rd spot. And the track really started to, at least for me, it started to tighten up. And so I had to keep getting looser and looser. And I had to take some tricks from Dover and Martinsville to get the car to hook the bottom. You saw that was the dominant lane all night. It looked late in the run, either Paul was saving fuel, or car was starting to fall off, so I could kind of match him a little bit. I think that first stop, I closed up a bunch, which really surprised me, but I think after that, it was kind of just nip and tuck. We were 2-3 seconds apart the rest of the race, and unless he made a mistake, I didn't think I was going to get him on speed.
It really looked like everybody sort of behaved themselves tonight. We had some guys getting into the outside wall, and it's common, I think, coming off turn 2 to hit that outside wall. But, for the most part, guys were communicating with each other pretty well, and, a caution-free race, that is pretty impressive at a track that's as tough as Texas.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Coming off of 2, this track is just different than Charlotte. It's different than the other quad oval and tri-oval tracks. Coming off of 2, the banking flattens out so much. If you stay too low, it tries to spin you. If you get too high, you find yourself knocking down the outside wall. Same thing off of 4. The banking just falls off way different than Charlotte. It's really, really challenging to keep the car turning through there. But yeah, it was just a good night for us. That's why send out a big thank you to Toyota, to Konica Minolta. You can see the world with Konica cameras, and today we got to see some 6-shooters in victory lane.
Well, I know you've been sort of a part-time racer with us lately, and I don't know how you feel about Indy cars, but we'll be back next week in the Indy cars here in this King of the Oval series. Kind of interesting series for us. Any plans to jump in the IndyCar and tackle Texas Motor Speedway next week?
I'll give it a try, and likely to be beat by Mr. Ricardo, more than likely. If not, Paul Brown won't make a mistake again. I don't think lightning will strike twice, so I'll be happy to finish that race in the top 5. But hopefully I can make it Labor Day weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Then, yeah, I'll try and make it next Saturday night here on TurnLeft TV. We should have, hopefully, a really fast Slackware IndyCar Dallara Honda, so I look forward to it.
All right, man. Take care, and congratulations. Drink some champagne.
Thank you, and some 6-shooters. Woo, let's go.
I'll tell you what, right there, Ricky Emerson gets the award for the best interview. That was awesome, man. He very well versed, and how about that? 6-shooters there in Texas, huh? So the great 6-shooter reference. So congratulations to Ricky on getting the win here at Texas Motor Speedway. I want to say thanks to all the drivers for coming out here tonight and participating. Thanks to all the fans for watching TurnLeft TV here tonight too, or if you're watching it on replay. Appreciate you being out here and watching the race. Hey, we got some more racing headed your way this weekend. That's right. So look, we did the Bushwhacker Series on Friday. We do the Saturday Night Thunder, or the King of the Oval Series, on Saturday. And we're doing some GT3 Series racing. We're going to stay in Texas. We're going to, where we at? Austin, Texas, for Circuit of the Americas in the first race of the brand new season in the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. That racing will start at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 45-minute race to kick off a great, I think it's an 8-race season in the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. And the Circuit of the Americas is a very challenging track. Be interesting to see what kind of drivers we have come out here for this. And it's going to really take a lot of patience, a lot of skill, a lot of practice to be able to win this race at Circuit of the Americas. Of course, that'll be live right here on Turn Left and Right TV tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget, the Bushwhacker Series back in action next week on Friday, September the 2nd, to begin Labor Day weekend. It's race number 3 of the season, Richmond Raceway, 125 laps great short track. And this season, we've had some huge fields in the Bushwhacker Series, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out on Labor Day weekend here in the United States. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, please come out and test out EliteHostingUSA.com, whether it be rFactor 2 server, or how about your website or your online store. That's who hosts our website and our servers. But don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. You'll get updates of point standings, also who's doing what throughout the week, running what times, and so forth. And a good quick link to join us on Discord, where we do most of our business. I want to say thank you so much for coming out. Very interesting race. Caution-free race tonight here at Texas. Man, that is a challenging track. And these guys really did a great job tonight. A lot of communication between the drivers. That's what it takes. A lot of give and take. And Ricky Emerson came away with the race win. Paul Brown, not happy about that. But, hey, if you're going to lose it, you're going to lose it fair and square. And he had a little bit of a mistake on pit lane. And that's all she wrote there. But he'll be back next week. I'm sure he's still going to be leading in the points championship. And don't forget, he is the points championship leader coming into tonight. So I suggest to you it's probably going to stay the same when we go into Texas next week in the IndyCar. That's going to do it for us tonight here on Turn Left TV. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And, hey, guess what? We'll see you next time. Maybe tomorrow, huh? In the meantime, I'm out of here.